let's take a look at the AM-GM inequality. The AM-GM inequality is actually a very powerful problem solving tool which is used in many Olympiads, and it allows us to view the problems in a different way. And the questions never explicitly state to use this method, of course, because it is really easy to use this method, and it does not even strike our mind when we solve these problems to use this method particularly, but it allows us to solve problems really quickly. And I will show you a few examples in this video. I will cover other difficult examples in other following videos. So the AM-GM inequality states that the arithmetic mean, or the AM, is greater than the geometric mean, which is the GM, and this stands for any n numbers. That is the arithmetic mean of n numbers, where n can be any number, and the geometric mean of n numbers, where n can be any number, can be related in this equation. Inequality, not an equation. It's not an equation. It's not an equation. So we will actually prove this inequality right now, but we will prove it with n being 2, because we don't want to use up a lot of space. I'll take two positive numbers a and b. And yeah, by the way, this inequality only works for positive numbers, not for negative numbers. I'll tell you why. So am of two numbers a and b will be a plus b over 2. The arithmetic mean is the average of these two numbers, and the geometric mean is square root of ab. So the inequality is that the am is greater than or equal to gm. So let's actually calculate the value of am minus gm, and if this value is actually positive, that means if this value is greater than 0, then we can say that we have proved our statement. Excuse me. So we will now actually try to calculate am minus gm. So am minus gm will be equal to a plus b over 2 minus square root of ab, and this will be equal to a plus b minus 2 square root of ab upon 2. And notice that, let me just erase some of the stuff. As I said, I have a limited screen, small screen, big handwriting, worst possible case. Anyways, so notice that this can be written as square root of a minus square root of b squared upon 2. This is because square root of a minus square root of b squared will be a plus b minus 2 square root of ab. So I have done nothing new here, I have just rewritten it. But notice that this is a square term, that means this term will always be greater than 0, and the positive number divided by 2 is always a positive number. Therefore this thing will always be positive. It can be equal to 0 as well if root a is equal to root b. But we have actually proved this, that am minus gm will be greater than 0. Therefore am will be greater than gm. Ta-da! I solved it even with my limited screen and my big handwriting. So we proved that am is always greater than gm. Now let's actually solve some problems relating to am and gm. Relating to this inequality. Now I'm just gonna work with magenta because it's my favorite color. Don't judge me. Anyways, the question is, I'm taking it out from a book which I have. So the question is 4 to the power sine square x plus 4 to the power cos squared x, and the question is to minimize this function. So you have to minimize f of x equals 4 to the power sine square x plus 4 to the power cos square x, and I'm not solving it with calculus. So let's use the AM-GM inequality. let's take this thing as a and this 4 to the power cos square x as b. So we know that a plus b over 2 is greater than or equal to square root of ab. So a plus b will be greater than or equal to 2 of square root of ab. Now notice that a plus b is just f of x. So we can actually find an expression for f of x, excuse me for that, for f of x being greater than or equal to something, and the minimum value will be that something. So a plus b is just 4 to the power sine square x plus 4 to the power cos square x, and that will be greater than or equal to 2 times square root of 2 times square root of 4 sine square x multiplied by 4 cos square x. And simplifying it further, we'll get 4 sine square x plus 4 cos square x is greater than 2 times square root, 2 times the square root of 4 to the power sine square x plus cos square x. And if you've studied your unit circles and trigonometry, you will know that sine square x plus cos square x will always be equal to 1. If you don't know that, please look up Google and search unit circle, or just search basics of trigonometry from Khan Academy. You will find the appropriate link. So 4 to the power, oh god, 4 to the power sine square x plus 4 to the power cos square x, cos square x will be greater than or equal to 2 times 4 to the power 1, which is greater than 2 times 2, which is greater than or equal to 4. So 4 to the power sine square x plus 4 to the power cos square x is at least equal to 4. Therefore, the minimum value of f of x is 4. And there you have the answer. So let me just make it in a different color. So there's our answer. The minimum value of f of x will be 4, and we solved it using the AM-GM inequality. I was lucky because f of x was already in the form of something plus something, and I converted those somethings into a plus b, and I could use the AM-GM inequality. So I hope that you learned something new, and you learned how to apply the AM-GM inequality, and in further videos I will show you more examples which will be more difficult than this particular example. Thanks for watching.